Welcome back everyone. I wasn't going to film this, I'm halfway through the job, but it's annoying me so much, I thought I'm going to switch the camera on, I'm going to share my misery with you guys. So I really didn't want to fix this bike. I've just rang the customer and I said, you know, it's beyond economical repair. They're £300 or £400 to get this working again. There's not a single component on the bike that's not absolutely destroyed. He said, yeah, okay, fix it. So I'm trying to fix it. So far I've had I'll show you what I've done. Just to give you a taste, that's the jockey wheel. And that's the bush for the jockey wheel there. Other one's exactly the same. So I'm not even fitting that, I'm just putting a new derailleur on it. All the pads completely destroyed as well. No pads going on. Bottom bracket destroyed. Heat gun and many impact cycles later. Got it out, trying to get the threads fixed on this because that's not much better either. This might work, not sure. It gets expensive then, like it's not already ridiculous. This is an example of the brake cable that's on it. And this is the back tyre. So he did borrow this wheel off another bike because the original wheel's broken. But the original is not much better than this, let me tell you. This is the borrowed wheel. This is just all scrap. There's nothing good about this. It's not usable at all. It's completely buckled, not straightenable. The cassette's obviously worn out. This is the other wheel he's given me to put on there. This is for disc brakes. There's no braking surface here for rim brakes. He's been using it on rim brakes, clearly. Took the disc off, so I'm not putting that on either. It's getting a new wheel. This is the back tyre. He says it's slipping on the rim and slicing every inner tube in, so that's not going back on either. So we've got a new tyre and tube on the back. Front wheel, pretty much as bad as the other one. I don't think I'm going to bother repairing that either. I'm going to put a new wheel on it as well. I'm not going to spend an hour trying to make this any better. The cones and cups, etc. are all clearly going to be toast. I don't know if it's straight or not. Ish. And he also wanted this Suntour fork fixing. I said no to that. Clearly I'm not going to fix that. You can't get spare parts for this. It's not a fork, it's just a spring basically. You can't fix this. It sort of moves but squeaks like a squeaky thing. I'm not going anywhere near that, that's for sure. Headset, as you can imagine, feels about as good as the bottom bracket and the hubs. So yeah, oh yeah, saddle. And there's the saddle. Again, I'm not doing anything with that either. So yeah, I'm looking for positives. This gear cable looks in good condition. There you go, that's your lot. I've got my work cut out, that's for sure. Honestly. So you pick up when we're trying to thread this bottom bracket, it's absolutely solid. The other side's in, no problem, but this drive side is not the best at all. Like I say, the bottom bracket was seized in there. Massive blast with a heat gun and it came out as usual, but I can't get the new one in because the threads are that bad. I'm struggling to get them any better at the moment. So left hand side goes in lovely. One finger, that's all the way in. This one, however, starts off okay to about there, and then it's something very solid. Like that. Well, I think that'll be enough. AliExpress tool, by the way. Pretty good. I do have another one, but normally this does the job. There you go. There's some grease in there. Do it the world of good. New chain, new derailleur, new cassette, and this is staying on. Depending how bad these teeth are, it may jump under load. We'll find out when I get it back together, if I ever get it back together. I mean, you know me guys, I'll fix pretty much anything, but when something gets to the state where literally every single component on the bike has got major issues, then I'm sorry, but it's time to call it a day. Get a new bike, in my opinion. But we'll see what we can do. I think a new back wheel will make a big difference to it, to be honest. I think that's the majority of the issues, and a tyre obviously. Chain cassette, brake blocks, some cables. See where we're at. I don't have any jockey wheels for that derailleur, so we're getting a new derailleur. To be honest, there's not much difference in price these days. 20 quid for this, about 10 for jockey wheels. So that's a new wheel, new tyre, new rim tape, new tube, new cassette. Whole shebang is new. I'm not messing around with that rubbish. That's on. I can't even use this old gear cable that was good because it was in such a state at that end. I can't get through the derailleur again, so another new gear cable. Not even funny now, guys. I've tightened this up, but literally the whole lever's about to fall to pieces as well. Left arm on, I've tightened that and the lever seems okay, but must be another bolt under here somewhere. Alright, we're upside down. I don't normally take shifters apart, I normally just fit new ones, but have a quick look in here. This nut here is loose, that's the problem. Look. Normally a retaining clip on here. On the thread as well, honest. And get some lube while we're in here. It needs all the help it can get. A bit better than it was, but not much. Let's check these limit screws now. I normally have some sort of sympathy for the actual bike itself, but this is just, it's just dead, isn't it? Right, let's hook it up and let's see what happens. Need a chain obviously, but hey, still the best tool in the workshop. Okay, we've got off chain. Place your bets. Don't make them big. Right, let's go front derailleur first. I need to adjust this front leg first. It's up. Bottom bracket I put in is 2mm longer, so I'm going to have to tweak this front derailleur, which is no bad thing because this tyre is a bit massive. So, right, let's get it onto the middle ring now, see what happens. That's a bit better. Let's try the back. Check this cable seated in properly. Yep. Up one. Actually went up. Almost. Back down. That's pretty good. And back down, yeah. That's not bad. Considering the state of the gear lever, that's not bad. Check this front. Right, I need to open that high stop again now. Again, because that bottom bracket was 2mm longer, we've just got to pull everything over a little bit. There's loads of room in this foot though. Pull that over. And that's up. Smallest sprocket at the back, make sure we've got clearance there. A little bit more. Like that. That's good. And down, and down. That's on small. She shouldn't be in that one, so. Up the top there on the back, and we're okay. Middle ring, we're okay. Right. No brakes. All things considered, I think that's fairly working. Give this poor derailleur some lube as well. So the back end, not too bad. I'm going to put some brake blocks in here now. Put a cable on there. Get that set. Look, even this is knackered as well. A little bit missing. Literally every single component, like I say, everything is knackered. Breathe. It's actually my wedding anniversary today anyway, guys. Thank you very much. Congratulations and all that great stuff. I'm out for a meal tonight. Mrs. BCR. Not been introduced yet. Maybe one day. Right, I'm going to clean this V-brake because it's just going to be easier for me to set them up now. I'm going to end up cleaning the bike, aren't I? What's your thoughts on this? Would you have brought it in for repair? I got these tri-compound pads. These are actually pretty nice. These do work really well. Believe it or not, trade, I can buy a full set of V-brakes with cables, everything else, and pads obviously for about £4 front and back. Just insane. I don't know how anybody makes money on that. Get these on. Hate fitting these, by the way. I'm tempted just to fit a new front wheel on this as well, just to make it right. I'm not sure I've got a matching one there. I'll have a look. That's on. I think that's the first V-brake pad I've fitted this week without dropping half the bits off it. Just impossible. Right. Okay, get this one somewhere close without getting stuck on this massive tyre. Alright, that might work. I'm just going to see if I've got a front wheel for this because I'm not messing around with this, I don't think. I'll see what I've got. I'll see if I've got a black one that will match that. Let's get a cable on here then. Alright, so some new cables cut. Get this threaded through, new noodle, everything's just going to be new, there's just no point messing around with this rubbish. We try and do that, it just makes the job twice as long. It costs the customer more in labour anyway, so you may as well just put new parts on when they're in this condition. I don't mind repairing some stuff, people ask that question, I mean why don't you just replace it, but you know, if it's 5 minutes to fix it, then why not, just fix it, because otherwise you're potentially waiting 3 or 4 days for the part to be delivered anyway, so it makes sense just to get it out of the way, doesn't it? But people will ask that question. A lot of bike shops, like I say, they'll just fit new bits, and I get it, but it's not my style. If I can fix it safely and reliably, then I will. Squeeze it on, you know the score now. You've seen me do enough of these, haven't you? At least we know the wheel's straight. Let's get a good squeeze, settle all those new housings down. Pull that through. I didn't have a wheel, I've just looked. I'm going to consider ordering one. Because I think the bike might actually look half decent then. And to be honest, for the budget he's given me, I might even consider changing this fork out. I'll have a look what's available. EP1. Brakes on. That's your work, good. So like I say, I've finished the back end of the bike now pretty much. I will obviously give it a bit of a clean and lubricate and whatnot, but the basic mechanicals are there. So this fork is absolutely destroyed. The wheel ain't much better, and obviously we need a new brake cable and brake pads on there. Apart from that, believe it or not, it might actually start to look a bit like a bike again. So I think I'm going to wrap up for today, have a look on my suppliers and see what fork's available. Because he did ask for a fork if possible, and he's given me a pretty big chunky budget, so we might be able to squeeze one in and then carry on. You don't want it back for 3 weeks, so I've got plenty of time to get a fork in. Right, I'll see you again soon. Just before we carry on with this, quick pause to say a massive thanks to Sport and Leisure for sponsoring today's video. So nothing more annoying than being right in the middle of a job, waiting for a part you ordered, said it would be here today, 24-hour delivery. Yeah, righto. It's not even in the same country, is it? 2 weeks away. Been there, done that. So annoying. Anyway, that's exactly why I use Sport and Leisure. They're based right here in the UK. Their stock levels are live. It says it's on the shelf. It really is on the shelf, ready to go. Order before 3 PM. It will ship the very same day with free delivery on all UK orders. Need it faster than that? £2.50 next day delivery. Bargain. That's brilliant when you just need to crack on. You need to rely on the parts being here tomorrow, like it said it would be. They've also updated the channel discount scheme for you. Head over to sportandleisure.com/BCR or scan the QR code on the screen right now. It'll generate a 10% discount at checkout off your very first order. If you're buying parts anyway, it's an easy way to save a bit of cash. So the link's in the description below, and a massive thanks again to Sport and Leisure for continuing to support the channel. Alright, let's continue with this. Oh dear. Right, I'm back a few days later to show you this fork. That's me, full body weight, absolutely nothing, rock solid. So I have a fork. So excuse the noisy birds outside. Well, it's about 1 inch too short. Good job, this is coming out. Oh, way too short. The top of that steerer should be about 3mm below there. This top bolt's doing absolutely nothing, and there's no spaces in here. So, yeah, it's a very good job. This fork is coming out way too short. Let's take this wheel out before we do anything else. Take these brakes off. I'm sure I can get these off. These seem like they're almost seized solid. Can you be surprised? Oh, that one's off. Come off. Yeah, this bike loves fighting me, doesn't it? Well, the old PB on that one, I think. It's nearly empty. However, I've ordered another one of something else that somebody recommended on another video. Bulldog, something like that I think it's called. And it's a third of the price of PB Blaster in the UK, so we'll see how that goes. Come off. It's moving slowly. This screwdriver is a drive-through screwdriver, so it's designed to be hit. So I'm just going to tap the back of that brake on the metal bit. Doesn't need much. There you go. That's it. Drop this fork out. I've not got to the headset yet. Let's see what that's like. We're out. Good. There's the first bearing from the top. One missing. This one. Oh my god. I think I pulled one of them out, but the rest of them are pretty much missing. Bearings. Get the fork in. Get it trimmed. I put a couple of spaces in there because that was completely slammed. Transfer it over the crown race from the old fork. Just need to drive this on there. Just tap it on. Ow, my hand. 27p bearings. I'm just going to go for a dry fit so I can measure the fork rather than put any grease in just yet. The races didn't actually look that bad, surprisingly. Amazingly. Get this measured up. Like I say, I put a couple of spaces in there. I will put a black one in, a carbon one. Get that measured and I'll cut it somewhere close to where it should be, not like it was. Wow. It's going to take some cutting. This is solid steel. Drop all this out again. Get some grease in here. I think it's the original A headset, Cane Creek. My part tool stool holder. Always use that. Grease. It's the first time this bike's seen it for a while. This bit goes on there, bit there, that bit there. Spacer. Maybe I should put this carbon one on to save a bit of weight. I think it needs its help. That will do you there. A little bit on the big side still. That's fine. Star nut, that'll be good, wouldn't it? Forgot the star nut. That's in there now. Good. Drop a spacer on top just to fill that gap. Let's see how it feels with no stool. A bit tighter. Actually feels not too bad. It's the right size and it even moves. Bonus. Torque setting on this one's been doing nothing for God knows how many years. People might recognise the brand Tioga back in the 90s. Very, very big brand, very popular. Real good stuff, but pretty much dead and buried now, to be honest. I don't see anything from them, unfortunately, but yeah, big brand back then. Right, we have a headset and we have a fork. Put the brakes back on. These are just transport covers. Bit of grease on these. Otherwise they get stuck, as you saw. I've already put new pads on these. This could be interesting to fit now. No chance. I've just got to spin this pad out of the way, otherwise I can't get the spring in. I'm going to set it to the new wheel anyway, so that's in there. Bit of Loctite on these bolts. You don't want your brakes falling off, it's never ideal. So this spinny thing on this part tool, I can't say I've ever used this in 4 years, honestly, maybe it's just me. And this one, same again, just move that pad out of the way so I can get this spring in. It just fouls on the fork. And again, a bit of Loctite. Yeah, I'll try it, I'll hold it. To be fair, it's not bad actually. Maybe I've been missing out. So I do like these, however, I wouldn't recommend them over just a normal Allen key. I'd recommend them in addition to normal Allen keys. Always get a decent ball end. These are Weeha Allen keys, that's all I always use. Between them and Facom. And just spin these pads back to somewhere remotely close, just to lock them in place like that. Obviously we're going to set that with a wheel. Again, this is just packaging. If you ever get these, keep hold of it because they're very useful if you ever put a bike in a box or something like that, just to spread the forks. Or if you get the longer ones for the rear dropouts, it's a very good bit of packaging, so if anyone stands on the box, it gives it a lot of support. So if you do get these, hang on to them. A bit of grease. I'll probably leave it on there for corrosion resistance, I'll be honest. A very basic fork, but at least they move. I've got gaping holes in them. Right, that's that bit done. Get this wheel transferred over, and then we're almost there. Get this in then. New wheel again. Oh, so even the quick releases are knackered on the old wheel, so by the time you add all that up, it's just not worth it. These wheels are pretty cheap, and they work. Right, I'll just set these brake pads, get a cable on here, and we're cooking on gas. Pretty good. Pretty good as well. Check it when I get a cable on, but it looks pretty close. New cable, button this one up, and then I think, like I say, we're about there. A couple of other tiny little bits. And I might give it a quick wipe down. Let's try that. Tiny bit tight, but I've got a couple of threads left on here, so go back in. Should be about right. Good. I have to say, this is probably the most useless component on a bike, this rubber boot. Does nothing. Get rid of this bit, and that's the front brake done. Good. I'm just got to plug these holes up. How thick is this bar? I mean, I know there's an old plug in there, but it's flipping out. It's about, look at it, it's about 6 mil thick. I can get this in. I'll just trim this down a bit to get it in. Tapered these down a bit and get the first one in, then it should take itself in then. Like that. The other one's done. I think that is it. Like I say, every single component. There's no adjustment there, it's just bushes in there, it's completely worn out. There you go. It looks a bit like a bike and it works actually. I'll give it a fair dues, it does work. The brakes work, the gears work, the wheels work, they're all brand new. Bottom bracket works. So I don't think much of the original bike left, to be fair. I think it's front derailleur, the actual V-brake units themselves, bar and stem, saddle and post. I think the rest of it's brand new. Anyway, I am gonna give it a little bit of a clean, little bit, and then we're done. Quick test ride, and as suspected, it's slipping like crazy on this middle chainring. I thought it would. The other two actually seem okay. So I'm gonna see if I can get a price for a chainring. Quite difficult to get these now, Mega 9 on a 4-arm spider. Probably gonna end up with a new chain set, I'll be honest with you. Let me do a bit of digging, see what I can find, but yeah, it slipped like absolutely crazy, as I thought it would do. Alright, I'll be back. What's the chances? Random chainring I've got in stock, 32 tooth, 3x9. I can't believe I've got that. Alright, I'll stick this on. I don't keep any chainrings because there's so many different ones to keep, it's just impossible. But somehow over the years I've ended up with that one, and it happens to be exactly the right one. Wrong colour, but it's the right size. I'll say I've tried the other two chainrings and they're okay. I think it lives its entire life on the middle chainring by the looks of it. So this should sort it. Can't believe I've got that. I thought I was going to be a week looking for that. Problem is, when you've had something in stock for so long and I didn't write a price on it like I'm really good at, I've no idea how much I paid for it. So, obviously it's been absorbed long ago, so that bolt don't even come out, does it? Come on. Chain sets and wheels are the sort of thing that would definitely write a bike off. I mean, obviously the price on this is just ludicrous anyway, but add a chain setting to that is quite... It's just plain stupidity then. As most people will say about this entire video, I'm guessing, but hey. Customer wants it doing. It's not like it wasn't repairable, it's just beyond economical repair by a long way. If you're looking at road bikes, then shifters are the ones that make it uneconomical. Wow, they're expensive. Even low-end shifters are very expensive. Drifters, whatever you want to call them. STI units is the official name. Like I say, this one appeared to be okay. I mean, it's not pretty, but it did look. It did feel okay under load. As did the small one. This one, however, no. Right, it's actually the same colour. It used to be silver, and it's the same size. Result. I'm going to soak this for half an hour. Give it a clean. Now I've got access to it. I'll bring up the aesthetics of the bike a little bit. So I'll be back when that's a bit shinier. I'll just stick this in. I'll just give them a quick ultrasonic. Well, it's probably the cleanest bit on the bike now, but hey. Let's quickly whip this back together, get it back on the bike. A quick test spin, and it should be done. Okay, all done. Back on the bike. Actually looks almost clean, look. This is it. It's riding away after this. Into the sunset, never to be seen again. I've almost become attached to this bike, I have to admit. Almost. Gonna go for another quick spin, make sure that's okay now. Should be fine. Okay, all good. Bearing in mind this bike's at least 4 sizes too big for me. The other issue was these grips are just slipping around a little bit, so I'll just pop these off, get some lacquer in there, stop them moving. Just some clear lacquer in here, paint lacquer. Slide that on, just let that dry. Same on the other side. And that is that. Thank God. Well, what can I say? It works. It's not the prettiest thing in the world now. It's still got a lot of patina, but it does work. The gears work, the brakes work, the forks now bounce, the headset works, bottom bracket works. But anyway, I know exactly what you're going to say, and like I say, you can put 1,000 comments in the comments if you wish. It's not my idea, guys. At the end of the day, it's not as if it was unrepairable. There's no cracks in the frame or anything. It's just obviously far from economically viable to do it. But the thing is, a lot of people are very comfortable with their old bike. It's the right size for them. They've got memories on it. And as the customer quite rightly points out, for the price of the repair, what else can he buy? I mean, you can buy a used bike, but potentially you're buying £200 or £300 worth of problems on that used bike as well. So pros and cons. At least he knows this is actually fully functioning now and potentially got a fair few more years left in it. But yeah, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one. I get this all the time. And most of the time I'll just tell them it's not economically viable to repair, and they're happy with that. They take it away and we never see them again. However, you get the odd one, they want it doing, and it's done. I can't say I enjoyed this one, but I hope you enjoyed watching it, and stay tuned for plenty more content. Thanks for watching.